Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and today we are continuing our discussion on the Paper Mario series. Of course, today we're moving on to Super Paper Mario for the Nintendo Wii. Though honestly, this is probably the game I have the least thoughts on, because I've only played through it all the way once, and it's been a really long time since I've played it. One thing I do remember about this game is that it continues having the smoother animation style and slightly darker tone that was introduced in Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. And if you watched the last video I did, you know I didn't really prefer either of those things. But honestly, I feel like they fit better in this game than they did in Thousand Year Door, because the overall package that you get here is just so darn different from the last two games. We went from having two games that were turn-based RPGs to having a hybrid RPG platformer. The general gameplay is a lot more like traditional platforming RPG gameplay, but you still have a level up system and you gain experience points from defeating enemies, and you still have the little damage numbers that pop up when you jump on enemies, and it's definitely a very unique experience. And not to mention, the setting of this game is also very different from the first two games as well. You go from the games taking place in the Mushroom Kingdom or some other section of the Mushroom World to a world that's basically like another dimension. All of the areas and all of the characters have an almost digital look to them. They basically made them look as completely different from the normal Mushroom Kingdom characters as possible. So really, everything about this game is completely foreign to what you experienced in the last two Paper Mario games. And when you apply the differences between Paper Mario and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door to this game, it all wraps up to just be a completely unique experience, and it all fits together really well. Because this game is mostly a platformer, I feel like the smoother animation style fits it better. And because the world you find yourself in is so different from what you experienced previously, fitting the darker tone in there also meshes a lot better. Mario and company are basically exploring completely unknown territory in this game, so of course things would be a little different. Things would be a little more scary, more menacing. It's one thing when suddenly you're dealing with Piantas that are also mobsters. It's a completely different thing when you're dealing with absolutely unknown entities. So yeah, as an overall package, I really like Super Paper Mario. I honestly think I like it better than Thousand Year Door. Constructively, because this game is so different to begin with, giving it a different graphic style and different tone makes more sense. At least, to me anyway. But aside from that, what else about this game can you say? It's definitely not just a 2D platformer with some RPG elements. You've also got a cool dimension-flipping power where you can turn the 2D plane the game takes on into a 3D world. And this game also has multiple fully playable characters, which is just fantastic. I love games that give you a gameplay variety like that. I honestly can't believe I kept forgetting to mention the fact that in the first two Paper Mario games, you would have segments between chapters where you would play as Princess Peach or Bowser, and you would get to see different parts of the story that Mario wasn't experiencing. And honestly, those were some of the best parts of those games, so it baffles even myself that I forgot to talk about them. But this game just makes Princess Peach and Bowser fully playable, and you can swap between them and Mario whenever you want. And every character has a unique feel to them, and you can call on them for different situations. And of course, it's important to mention that little Luigi is playable too, and that's just fantastic. One weakness I can mention about this game is that, for the most part, the way it proceeds is kind of just replicating what the first two games did. You go to different areas, and at the end of the area, you collect a shiny thing, and then you use all the shiny things at the end of the game, and, you know, it's kind of treading the same ground for a third time. There's also the occasional weird inconsistency between this game and the previous games that I've noticed. For example, in this game, there's a part of the game where you go into space, which is really cool, but when you get to the space world, you have to leave because you can't breathe in space. And you have to go and find a space helmet and then come back, which is both hilarious and also entirely accurate. But at the same time, in Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, there was also a similar section where you go up into space, and you have no trouble breathing. So, what makes this space different from that space? I don't know, it's just a little nitpicky thing that's always bothered me about this game. And honestly, there's not much more I can really think about to say on this game at the moment, just because it's been so long since I've played it. Honestly, holding it in my hand and talking about it makes me want to boot it up again. Maybe sometime after I've played this game another time, I can go back to it and talk about it again in a little more detail. But for now, that's really all I have to say about it. So tell me, what do you think about Super Paper Mario? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, please try to keep your words clean and keep them respectful. But regardless, that's gonna call it for talking about Super Paper Mario and the early Paper Mario games. The original trio of titles that everybody loves and everybody agrees are really, really awesome. And that also means next time we're going to be moving into slightly ickier territory. But of course, we'll save next time for next time. Thank you very much for watching. This is your good friend Sparky, signing off for now. I'll catch you later.